Hey you guys, the more I learn about natural hair, the more I realize how much I don't know. In today's video, I'm sharing my preliminary thoughts around the 30-day hair detox, which is something that has been floating around the internet for the past couple of months. And yeah, I have some initial ideas, opinions, and I just wanted to talk a bit about them in this video. Now, for those of you who may not be aware of the 30-day hair detox, it is a detox that was created by two hairstylists. People just call them the A's. I believe they're called Elise and Aisha, and they have a platform called Black Girl Curls. They have a YouTube channel, they have, I think, a website, and they even have an Instagram page. I link anyone I mention or anything that I used to learn more about this detox will be in the description box. The A's, this hairstylist came up with the 30-day hair detox back in 2016, and they have an ebook called Wash Your Damn Hair, I think, where they break down all the principles they believe about natural hair care, and this is what they've learned over their experience as professional stylists. Now, this detox just resurfaced, I think, beginning of this year, end of last year, but it has been around for, as I've said, over 4 years now. During the 30-day hair detox, and just basically how you take care of your hair moving forward after that, you think of your hair routine in 3 steps: cleansing, conditioning, and styling. Now, when it comes to choosing the products that you use, their rules of thumb are no raw oils or butters. So that means you're not using just your shea butter, your greases, your castor oil, your coconut oil just on their own, or even mixing them together. No raw oils or butters, and then no oils or butters in the first 5 ingredients of any of your products. So for them, the idea is oils and butters are not moisturizers, which is something I have talked about before and I agree with. So for them, oils and butters will just weigh your hair down and cause a lot of product buildup, which is why cleansing is really important to them, so that you make sure you get rid of all that heaviness, all that gunk. When you are selecting a styler, for them, there are 2 stylers to choose from generally. You'll either be using a mousse for your twist and braid out kind of styles, or a gel, and gels would be for your wash and goes. Now, when you're choosing a gel, they say that you choose plant-based gels over plastic gels. So plastic gels are like your eco styler, where the ingredients are actually plastics. They prefer plant-based gels or botanical gels that have ingredients like aloe vera or flax seeds or pectin. So even when you're selecting your gels, you don't just use any gel. If you do straighten your hair, I believe in the style step you would use a heat protectant of whatever form. When it comes to cleansing, they're big on cleansing your hair every 5 to 10 days. So I don't know if that has covered everything, but I feel like those are the main things. And the idea is to have a minimal routine where you familiarize yourself with your hair in its bare state. Many naturalistas get used to using heavy products, heavy oils, heavy butters, and get used to this feeling of lubrication and softness of the hair, and don't really come to familiarize themselves with how their hair actually feels in its weightless state, when it's not being weighed down and heavy with product. And so you get to actually learn how your hair really feels, to understand how hydrated hair feels and looks, and just to basically learn how to relate with your hair in a new light. So the cleanse step is you have two types of shampoos. You have like you can say your clarifying shampoo and your conditioning shampoo. Then you have just your conditioner, and even there they have opinions about whether deep conditioning is necessary or not. And then you have stylers, where you have either your mousse, your gel, or your heat protectant serum. So I think there's been a lot of controversy about this about the 30-day hair detox, because there are a couple of misconceptions that, at least from my observation, I've seen. So the first is that it is a trend. So every now and then in the natural hair space on YouTube or Twitter, there'll be something that starts trending. So we've seen rice water come, and again, even all these things that are considered trends have been used for thousands of years. So even when you think of rice water, chebe or shebe, I don't know how people pronounce it, chebe powder, your amlas, your henna, what else? Onion juice, and then now the 30-day hair detox. It seems like people think it's a trend at the moment, but as I've said, it is something that has been a thing since 2016, so it's not new at all. I think the second misconception that I've seen is that these hairstylists are against oils and butters, that they hate oils and butters and they think oils and butters are bad for your hair. At least from my understanding, they're not telling you that you can't have oils and butters in your product formulations, because in one of the live sessions, one of them had a twist out and they had used a leave-in, but they preferred to call it a cream-based styler. So they had used a cream-based product to do their twist out and then used a mousse over it. So also the idea that you can't use leave-in conditioners anymore is not necessarily true. It's just for them, they don't think of leave-ins as moisturizers, they just think of them as cream-based stylers, and they still apply the rule of no raw oils or no oils or butters in the first 5 ingredients, which rules out quite a number of products in general. Like if you just went now, like you pause the video and go and look through your hair products, I think it would be very interesting actually to tell me down below how many of your products meet that simple criteria, that no oils or butters in the first 5 ingredients. Let me know down below. I think I've seen another misconception, or something that some people have said to challenge the detox, is that it only works for people with looser curls. Like if your hair type is a lot looser, then it could work for you, because both the A's neither of them has the kinkiest hair, and I think they both have like dyed, colored, treated hair. So even though according to the hair typing system they would be, I guess, type 3C4A naturalistas, first of all, most stylists, cosmetologists, trichologists, etc., most of those professionals do not believe in and agree with the hair typing system, and for them, they feel that this way of taking care of your hair can work on all hair types. I think the fifth misconception, and the one that's caused the most controversy on the internet about this, is that it's an influencer versus stylist kind of war, where naturalistas who create content, bloggers who are not stylists or certified cosmetologists or trichologists, are at war with influencers or bloggers, and they disagree. It's a fight between the two. So I've watched a couple of content creators talk about why they are against the 30-day hair detox, and for the most part the issue with it has been the tone and the approach that these hairstylists have used. I've watched some of their live videos, I've watched them talk, and I think it is, whether you are a professional, you're certified or not, I don't think that it's ever right to be condescending towards whoever you are speaking to or speaking about. And I've seen that happen both sides. Like the stylists were unnecessarily rude or their tone was inappropriate, and the same thing on the other side by some content creators. So I think it ends up being that they're not even disagreeing about the principles of the thing, but more so about how these principles are being communicated. So I think also just from watching that happen, it made me check myself, because when I share content, no matter how informative it may seem, I have to remain aware that whoever I'm speaking to is an intelligent, rational person who can make decisions for themselves, who does not need to be belittled or be spoken to in a condescending tone. So I think sometimes when anyone has a platform, it's very easy for them to become to belittle the people they are speaking to, and I don't think it's right, regardless of whether you have a certification, you are an expert, you are a professional or not. And I know sometimes when you have some knowledge that other people don't, it gets tiring repeating yourself, being misunderstood, being misinterpreted, but I don't think that that is an excuse to not be respectful with your opinions and respectful with the way you approach educating the public. So I think it's become a thing where, like in one of the lives, the stylist said that they don't feel that anyone who's on a natural hair journey needs to create a platform and become an authority. And I get what they were trying to say, but I also think that we have to give credit where it's due. The online natural hair community is a huge part of why there are so many people who have fallen in love with their natural hair, who've learned how to take care of their hair at home, who have learned to explore the beauty that is their hair. My journey started because of finding an online natural hair community, not because of a stylist or a professional who brought me into this space. So I also don't think it's you have to choose one, like stylists are right or bloggers are right. I think that there is a place for both sides, and it doesn't need to be this versus that, because as I've said even in my most recent hair update, I really appreciate the space that stylists occupy in my hair journey. Going natural does not mean that suddenly you are anti-salons or anti-stylists or anti-professionals. And even within the professional space, they don't necessarily all agree with each other. So also this idea that because I have a certification in natural hair or in cosmetics, that what I say is the law. I found that even within the professional spaces, they don't always agree on everything. So at the end of the day, you have to make an informed decision on who to trust, on what works for you and for your hair. So whether you're getting this information from someone who's certified or not, you get to make an informed decision on what you do with your own hair. So at least one thing that I've seen them say is, if you have no issues with your routine and your routine is working for you, then you don't need to try the detox. This detox has been created for those people who have tried other things, it's not worked, so you give it a shot and see what comes out of it. Or if you're a curious person like myself, and yeah, whatever I'm doing could be working for me, but I'm always open to trying new things and seeing if there's something out there that's even better. Or sometimes you'll try the new thing and realize, so this is actually why I like doing this, or why I like having this in my routine. So you do not have to try the detox, because I know for many people, every day it feels like there's a new thing to do and you're good. If your routine is working for you, then you don't need to try it out. I just think it's been interesting to watch that the debates around the detox are less about the practice itself, because you'll find that if you really follow closely what many content creators in the natural hair space talk about, they are not really disagreeing with what the stylists are saying. A lot of them use the same principles. Even if they do use oils and butters, they have a very strict cleansing routine to make sure they're always starting on a clean slate. They choose high quality products, and sometimes some of their favorite products happen to fall in the categories the stylist has said, where you avoid your oils and butters in your first 5 ingredients. So I think there's just been mostly miscommunication and arguments, and it's been less about addressing the routine itself. I'm very interested in testing out the 30-day hair detox, so I just might, and you might see a video on that. I just wanted to share my thoughts around it because it's been such a huge conversation, and I wanted to hear what your thoughts are on the entire detox. Make sure to check out the stylists' pages there for you to understand what it's all about from the horse's mouth, because again, people tend to misquote them or misinterpret what it is they've actually said about the challenge and the principles themselves. And then you can try it out for yourself and see how it works for you. If you have tried the 30-day hair detox, or that's how you take care of your hair, please let me know how it's been like for you in the comments down below. I've been following 2 content creators who have been doing the detox. I'll leave their channels down below because they've been giving regular updates. So it's been very interesting to watch people experience it and tweak it for themselves and learn from the 30-day hair detox. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. Always remember that your hair is your crown and your body is a temple. Embrace it, love it, and take care of it. Bye!